Welcome in to the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview, proudly presented by Arkansas Tech University, D3 Auto Sales, and Metcalf Trucking and Trailer Repair. Today we sit down with the head coach of the England Lions, Josh Anderson. This Pigskin Preview is brought to you by Bank of England.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Caden Hauser, and I'm here with our head football coach, Joshua Anderson. Thank you for being with us today for our first interview for the Arkansas Sports Network.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm always excited to get to showcase our program and our kids and all the things that they do throughout the year, so happy to be here.
You're going into your 5th year as the head coach here. Could you tell us a little bit about what you did before England?
So once I graduated, I got to come back here and intern at England High School in 2016. That's the year they went to the semifinals for the first time in football. Then the final year, the next year, they went again. I was at Stuttgart for 4 years before coming here. I started off as junior high assistant football coach over there, senior high assistant. Also did softball. And then once the next year, I became junior high head football, and I was that for 3 years along with assistant senior high and assistant softball. And then got the call, see if I was interested in this job whenever it came open, and I was, and came over here and interviewed, and here I am.
And how has England been for you since your first day?
I'll be honest with you. When you first came here, COVID had just happened, so a lot of struggles. No one had ever dealt with COVID. Honestly, I feel like here going in year 4 and 5, we're just now really coming out of that COVID struggle that we were in for a whole year. It was a battle. Getting kids back out. They were able to go virtual for a year, 2 years, and then getting them back in the classroom and getting them in the weight room. And like I said, it was a struggle at first, but since then it's been a lot of joy, a lot of fun to watch these kids grow and to watch them excel each and every year, getting better and getting better. So like I said, I've enjoyed my time here.
Coaching football is obviously not just a one-man job. Could you tell us a little bit about your assistant coaches?
Yeah, so I've got 4 assistant coaches now. So it's kind of an interesting deal. We've got the same coaching staff going on 4 years in a row out of my 5 here. So that's a huge deal at 2A level, especially any high school level, honestly, but especially at the 2A, when you have the same coaches for an extended period of time. It's so much easier to coach the kids and for them to relate to you and to know your system, and you're not having to coach coaches because we're all just coaching the kids now. I've got, like I said, I've got 4. I've got first one I'll mention is Jared Vire. He's our most seasoned coach. I think this is his 11th or 12th season overall. He coaches our offensive line, defensive line. And then I've got J.R. Denise. He is our also offensive line, defensive line coach. He specializes in our defensive ends on the D-line. He's also our East facilitator and does a great job with that. And then we have Coach Jared Willis. He is our DBs, wide receivers coach, coaches a little bit of everything, honestly. He just got done doing a quarterback camp for us for the last 7 weeks, 7 Mondays. So he does a lot of that. He works with our kickers a lot. He's kind of a Swiss Army knife. He does a little bit of everything. And then you've got the newest addition is Blake Benson. He's a first-year guy, but young, energetic, puts in a lot of work. So like I said, we've got a great staff. We really work well with the kids. The kids really work well with us. Like I said, I'm thrilled to have the same guys for going on 4 years in a row.
I had the pleasure of watching England play every night the lights were on Fridays, and I've noticed that y'all like to run a spread offense. What is your motivation, and what do you like so much about running this type of offense for your guys?
The main thing is using the whole field, so when I was in high school here, we ran the double wing. Double wing is a very effective offense, but, it's very compact. You're using about 15 yards of a full width football field. If you have that style of kids and that the offensive line and the running backs for that, it's a great offense. For us, we like to use the entire field. We want to go sideline to sideline. We want to spread it out. We want to use our speed, use our ability, and we have athletic linemen that can move. We love to pull and kick and pull and wrap. So being able to use the full field, and then also having a running quarterback, the double wing is a little bit limited in the running quarterback scenario. There's just limited things that they can do where in our spread offense, we can do anything with them. We love to run the option. We love to run just quarterback run, quarterback counters. And then we can spread it out. We like to throw the ball. So we really like to spread. We went to more of that look the last 2 years, and each year we've had more points scored each game. So last year was our best offensive year that we've had since I've been here. So like I said, we enjoy the spread offense.
Leading the way of this amazing offense is going to be your senior quarterback, Nick Brown Jr. What are your hopes and aspirations for him in his final year here?
Obviously, I hope Nick has another great year. As a junior last year, he took over the offense following Chandler Cheek. Chandler Cheek was a big, strong, athletic kid, had a cannon for an arm. He's playing at Arkansas Tech now. So following that was some big shoes to fill. But Nick has a very good IQ, football IQ. And unfortunately for Nick, if he was 6'1", 6'2", he's got colleges looking at him right now. But he's like me. He was 5'8", 5'9", playing high school football quarterback. And so they're not looking at those type of guys. But as far as for his size, he makes up for it with his knowledge of the game. And he runs our entire offense. He gets everyone lined up, gets them where they're supposed to go. He tells them what they're supposed to do if they don't know. And then on the defensive side of the ball, he's the same thing. He's our strong safety. He's the quarterback of the defense. He does the exact same thing for the defense. We can run multiple coverages because he's able to get it lined up for us. So he's a huge asset for us. We look for him to have another big year.
Unfortunately, y'all are losing the All-State running back, Justin Barber Morgan. He's going on to play at the collegiate level at Langston University. Last year, he had 1,350 yards with 21 touchdowns. What is your plan to build back up, to find people that are going to fill those voids?
Yeah, Justin Barber Morgan, he's a one of a kind. You're not going to be able to just plug and play. You can't just replace that one guy. He was strong, physical, hard-nosed, fast, and you get in his way, he's coming through you. And those running backs are kind of hard to find. A lot of running backs want to be finesse, and they want to cut and bounce and stuff like that. A kid that we have that has that same mentality is Cooper Price. He had limited carries for us last year. He played primarily tight end, but he is a strong physical kid, and he's just a junior. He's getting a lot of the carries in our spring ball that we're going through right now. So we look for him to fill that role, and it'll be running back by committee. We've got him. We've got Wyon Johnson. He was our second leading carrier last year. He comes back as a junior, bigger, stronger, faster. And then we have Joel Miller, who he's a little cannonball. He's only like 5'4", 155 pounds, but he runs a 4.7, and he is our strongest pound-for-pound kid that we have in the weight room. So he's hard to bring down, and he's so quick on the edge. So, like I said, those three guys combined, they'll all bring something different to the table, but I think those three together will be able to make up the difference.
Now, on the other side of the ball, y'all like to run a 4-2-5 defensive set. For those that don't know, that is 4 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and 5 defensive backs. Why do you like this defense so much?
Mainly because it's such a multiple defense. The base is a 4-2-5, but we can run so many different things out of it, and our coverages can change so much by what we do with our strong safety. We can show one coverage, we can roll to another, we can roll them down. If we're playing a run team, it's an easy adjustment as far as moving bodies in and out, getting edge players, things like that. And then, also with our 4-2-5 last year, we were able to bump to an odd front a lot. We would move. Another one of the seniors was Taya Miller. Very, very physical kid, very physical. His favorite thing to do is hit you. And we would move him from the D-line to linebacker, which he had played for 2 seasons prior. He'd been our Mike linebacker. So we were able to move him back and forth, which gave a lot of teams fits because they prepared for a even front all week. And then we come out and we're able to bounce back and forth from an odd to an even. So I think it makes us way more dangerous on defense, having that ability. So like I said, 4-2-5 is our base, but it is a very multiple defense with the way that we run it.
Like you said, Tyon Miller, he was amazing for y'all last year. He was one of the leaders of that great defense. Who are you looking to fill that void as the leader of the defense this year?
Well, on the defensive line, we've got 2 guys that come to mind, obviously, with Edgar Tejada. He'll be a senior. And he's very strong as well. He's not the biggest guy. He plays anchor in for us, but he's benching, I think, 325, squats almost 400. Very strong, very technical player. And then in the center of the defense, you have Jerome Clegg, and he's just a man. He's, a huge human being, and he's the strongest kid I've ever coached. We don't even have a 1,500-pound club here, but he's in it if we had one. He bench pressed 425 at the state weight meet this last week. He squats over 500. He's a man. man. Then at the linebacker role, we have Cooper Price, be the Mike or the Will linebacker, whichever one we feel the most comfortable with him at. He played Will last year for us. I think he was the second leading tackler on the team. So, the interior, we have good D linemen, and then we have good linebackers coming back. We have Wyon Johnson as the Sam linebacker as well, and then we have Nick Brown as the Rover. So if we need run support, we can roll him down, and he takes care of the edge. Another thing on defense this year is we're going to be very good in the secondary. We have Nehemiah Lee, Jordan Palmer, DJ Turner all play the corner for us, and 2 of those 3 are seniors. They're very quick, very football knowledgeable, and they will be very good on the edge. It'll be hard to get outside on us, I feel. Then we bring back Trent Arnold at the safety position, and he's 6'4" and runs a 4.8, and he can cover a whole lot of ground. So I feel like this will be one of our best defenses we've put on the field since I've been here.
Before the interview, I asked you what you thought some of the strengths were of this team, and you told me physically strong. How do you prepare this team to be mentally and physically strong before the first kickoff?
Yeah, our physical strength and mental strength comes from the end of last season to the beginning of this season. There's no breaks. Whenever we lost last year in the playoffs, we lost to Des Arc. We were up at halftime. We felt like we were going to win that game, and then we go out in the second half, and it just didn't work out for us. We had some bad things that didn't go our way, and at the end of that game, we were disappointed. We all talked about it. Our goal last year was to win 8 football games. We came up short. We had opportunities to win 8, 9, 10 games. We ended up winning 6. So this group of seniors that's coming back, the juniors this year coming back as seniors, they were disappointed. They were upset that we weren't able to reach our goal. We felt like we should be playing in the quarterfinals in back-to-back years, which had only been done a handful of times in this school, so that really has lit a fire with these kids as far as driving them through the offseason. We've put together our best offseason yet. These kids have bought into the weight room. They are lifting nonstop. They're doing everything we ask them to do. They're adding weight, whatever our percentage is, they're adding an extra 10 pounds. They want to be strong, and that's a huge thing. And then that also goes into the mental side of it. We got to be able to push through the tough stuff. In our offseason, we don't try and sugarcoat it. We don't try and make it easy. It's meant to be tough. It's meant to challenge you, and it challenges your want to a lot. And I think that we've done a good job of that, and our kids have responded very well. So we're looking forward to a mentally and physically tough team coming up.
The other one that you told me one of your strengths were senior leadership. How many seniors do you currently have on this roster, and how does that make an impact when it comes time for the big-time games?
Yeah, so we're bringing back, we have 8 seniors total. I'm going through my head right now. I feel like they've all played for us. We don't have any new seniors coming in, so they've all been in our system for at least 1 year. Most of them have been with me since they were 8th graders. So they know what's expected of them each and every day when they come in here. And then they're able to hold the accountability to the other players, and we had our team meeting back in March, and we set a new couple rules of things that we weren't going to tolerate and things that needed to change in our program that we thought would get us to the next level. And the seniors, they jumped right in. They immediately took over the team that day and have held each other accountable. And we tell them all the time that, as a coach, if I'm leading the team or if the assistant coach is leading the team, whoever, if the coaches are leading the team, mediocre is probably about what we're going to be. We can't be great if the coach has to run everything. But if the players take over the team, now we can be great. And that has happened. We love seeing it. Every day, it's like having 8 extra coaches on the field, so I think having that leadership will be a huge difference maker for us.
I also asked you what you thought some of the weaknesses were on this team, and you told me depth at skill positions. What is your plan to kind of weather that storm, being thin in that area? What is your plan to make it where your guys aren't too tired when it's time for the fourth quarter?
Yeah, having that depth, that lack of depth at the skill position is concerning because you're 1 injury away, 2 injuries away from things not being what you need them to be, or having to put a kid that's never played that position at that position, So one thing that we really try and do is in practice, we rep kids at multiple positions because you never know week to week who you're going to have. You're a rolled ankle, you're a pulled hamstring, you're anything away from a week off or 2 or 3 or 4, So we're constantly working kids around. In our offense, it's a spread offense, but we run multiple personnel groupings. We can 11, 20, 21, 10 personnel. So by doing that, we can alternate some skill kids for some bigger bodies. So if we need to go a heavier set with an extra lineman in, we'll take a skill kid out, give them a breather. And all of our receivers, we teach them to play every receiver position. You're not just a Z. You play Z, X, W, and Y. You play all of them. And I think by being able to do that, it really helps give kids breaks when they really need them, especially early in the year when it's hot, 110 degrees. Everybody's out of shape. You can't rep game speed. Especially the first 3 weeks of the season. So by repping them in practice, learning different positions, I think it really helps.
In your opinion, who are some of the very, very capable and very good skill position players on this team that can make a huge impact early?
Well, we bring back Nehemiah Soley, first one comes to mind, all conference last year. He's been all conference 2 years in a row. He runs a 4.6. He finished top 8 in the 100 at the 2A state championships a couple weeks ago. So very fast, very physical. He's our best blocking receiver. We do one-on-one drills, and he'll line up against linemen and block him. We use him a lot as a hybrid tight end, more of a slot set, where he's blocking defensive ends and inside linebackers, and he's not bigger than them, but he has the determination, and then just his speed, once he learns to use that speed and get to the edge and outrun people, then, he'll be hard to stop. Then you have Jordan Palmer, who last year really came on middle of the year. Early in the year, he was kind of figuring it out, and then middle of the year, he hit his stride. Became our leading receiver on the year. And then you have Trent Arnold, once again, 6'3", 6'4", long, athletic, fast, runs really good routes. Get him the ball. If you need a jump ball, throw it to him in the back corner of the end zone. He's that type of guy. We like to run a lot of our RPO stuff with him as well, just because he runs such crisp routes. So like I said, those are 3 of my skill guys that really come to mind, as far as making a difference at receiver position.
The other weakness you told me that you think this team has is lack of tradition. Could you elaborate on that a little bit, or kind of go more in depth on what you mean by that?
Yeah, the lack of tradition, it's one of them deals where England high school football, this is a basketball school. We're known for basketball. We're known for winning state championships in basketball, and that's great. You'd rather be known for winning state championships than not be known for anything, whatever sport it is. So the problem with the football side of that is they don't have that same tradition, that same expectation. And with tradition comes expectation. That's why you see a lot of these smaller towns that have tradition rich in football. They have the expectation, even if they're not as talented this year, they're going to go compete. You're going to get their best shot every Friday night because they have the tradition to go and compete. They're not going to lay down for anybody. And I think in 4 years that we've been here so far that you don't build tradition in 4 years. But we've built a culture, we've built an expectation of what we do on a Friday night, and hopefully moving forward that it will catch on and become a tradition for the future generations, that the expectations on Friday night are to go compete and to go win games. You're never go into a Friday night expecting to lose, ever. So that's kind of the tradition side of it. When I came here, that just, the 90s or the mid-90s, early 2000s, there's a lot of rough years for England high school football. A lot of 1-win, 2-win seasons. And that really hurt your tradition because in the 80s, it was a very strong tradition program. They went to the state championship in 82, I believe, or 84, so a lot of good years there. Then the 90s and the early 2000s were a lot of down years, and the expectation became, we just want to go compete on Friday night. Well, no, we want to go win games, so like I said, we're trying to build back some of that tradition now.
This was considered a very young team last year. You only lost 2 seniors, but these were 2 very good seniors in Justin Barber Morgan and Tyon Miller. But you do have 6 returning all-conference players. What is your goal to have with this great returning group?
Tyon Miller, Justin Barber Morgan, like we talked about, you don't replace them. They're 2 guys that their drive in practice, the way they challenged each other, the way they challenged their teammates, their ability on a Friday night, they're not kids that you just, they're gone, let's put somebody else in their position. They're going to be hard to replace. We're going to miss them a lot, for the things that they were able to do well for our team, but That's part of coaching. That's part of running a football program. Is you're going to lose good seniors every year. After next year, I'm going to lose 8 good seniors that are going to be hard to replace, that I'm going to miss just as much as I miss Morgan or Justin Barber Morgan and Ty Miller. But that's kind of our job. We come in the next year and we start planning. Right now, we're going through spring ball. We're seeing who's good at what. We're trying to find our identity right now. Coming off of last year, losing those guys that we depended on so much, we're finding our identity, seeing what we're going to be good at, what personnel grouping is the best for us, what position people need to be playing to fill those roles, and we're going to get the best out of them that we can.
Well, that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for coming on. And if y'all would like to watch any England football at home, this will be live streamed on YouTube by England High School, and y'all can watch them on every Friday night during football season. Thank you so much, Coach.
Yep. Thank you. Go Lions.
We'd like to thank the England School District and the England East Lab for their contributions on this video. Thanks again for joining us on the Arkansas Sports Network's Hometown Sports Football Preview. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Arkansas Sports Network on YouTube to catch more previews and all the latest updates on your favorite teams.